Hi guys, it's been a while since I made a video. I've done this video before, so it's the drive test criteria, but this time I'm doing it in English on request of my clients. So on the day of the test, so this drive test criteria is, you can Google search it as well. So just put in the Google search, drive test criteria, VicRoads Drive Test criteria, and it will be a PDF file. It's got very detailed information on how you will get no, why you will get a yes, and all those critical errors and immediate termination. Everything's there. So you are by all means welcome to search it up and look at it, but don't look into details because it might muddle up your head. Too much information is usually not good. So I have sort of come up with 10 points, which I will share in a minute. That's the drive test criteria summarized, very briefly summarized. So on the day of the test, you should be at VicRoads parked in the yellow bays at least 5 minutes early if you can't get there earlier. But please do not be late, be later than 5 minutes, because then the test will be cancelled. So when you present yourself, you wait in line, obviously, to be seen by the information for the person on the desk. They will ask you to show your learner permit, and if you're going with the instructor, the instructor will be asked to provide you DAA, the driving instructor authority, and the car rego number. And sometimes that officer, customer service officer, will fill out the form, and other time they will say just wait on the side and the tester will call you. So when the tester will call you, ask a few questions, and then they will say, on the road, I will be your testing officer today. On the road, I will give you direction to turn right and left. If I don't say anything, just follow the natural course of the road, obeying all the road rules, road signs, road markings, and traffic conditions. Okay? They will say the test is in 2 stages. In the first stage, you will be asked to do 3-point turn or reverse parallel parking. They really want everyone to do the reverse parallel parking, but if they cannot find a properly parked car that has space at the back for you to park, then you will be doing the 3-point turn. And then after the first stage, they will ask you to pull over and stop at the curb. That means just park the car on the left, put it in park, and handbrake on. You don't need to turn the engine off. They will only take a few minutes, less than a few minutes, I guess, just to add up the score. And then if you have enough points, you will say, okay, congratulations, you have passed, and we are moving on to the second stage. Second stage is basically more driving, roughly around 20 minutes. The first stage is about 10 minutes, the second about 20 minutes. In the first stage, they will get you to the back streets, the built-up area, as quickly as they can to check your basic driving skills, okay? In the second stage, the degree of difficulty is a little bit more challenging. Still mostly back streets, but you will be on the main roads as well, doing the lane changes, going through different intersections. Okay. Now after this, they will say we will meet you in the car. So you will go in the car, you sit yourself in, put your belt on straight away. And when the testers come, then because testers take a little bit of time sometimes after doing the paperwork, they come a few minutes after. Occasionally, they might walk out with you because they were really quick at doing all the paperwork. But either way, whether they come with you or not, make sure as soon as you sit in the car, you put your belt on. So the tester will stand in the front and the back of the car, rear of the car, checking all the controls to see, number one, that you know how to operate, number two, that everything's working. So for that, they will ask you to turn the car on. Accessories on position, ignition on, not fully start. So if you got the key, you turn it twice, 1, 2, and all the lights show up. And if you have a button start, you press the button twice, 1, 2, and everything comes out. So you would do that without touching the brake, okay, without pressing the brake. And the car will come to the on position. And then the tester from outside, or you open the window as well so you can hear the tester. Or if you are going with the instructor can stand next to you on the window side and repeat whatever the tester is asking. Okay, so this is called the pre-drive check or the safety checks. Now I'll show you which things come in, what things are covered there. Okay, so the safety check is a pre-drive check to make sure that everything's working. So the tester will call out, will say to you, call out what things they want you to turn on. So again repeating, put your belt on before you before you turn the car on. Okay, now you will need to know where the controls are and how to operate them properly. So they will ask you to signal right and left, turn the headlights on low beam and high beam, hazard lights on, and then turn off. We don't press the horn anymore. They will just ask you where's the horn, point to the horn. They will ask you to operate washers and wipers for the front windscreen. They will ask you to point where the front demister is and the rear demister is, and also where the handbrake is. So you point to the handbrake, or if it's a foot brake like in my car, the handbrake is actually in my left. It is operated by the left foot, so it's on with all the other pedals are the accelerator pedal, brake pedal, and then it's a pedal for the handbrake. So you just need to point. Once you've done the front, then they go at the back and they will ask you the same: indicate right, indicate left, hazard light, and then they will say press the brake. So your normal brake, you need to press. So the brake lights, and I'm pretty sure you know the color of the brake lights. Yes, the red color. All the 3 red lights should come up. And once the pre-drive they have done that, they will go into the car, put the belt on, and if it's the instructor's car, they sit behind the instructor in the back passenger seat, and if they are going in your car, then they will sit next to you in the front, in the passenger side. Once you've got the belt on, and they will ask if you're going in the instructor's car, they will ask the instructor to press both pedals, accelerator and the brake, to make sure the buzzers have been turned on. So usually when you're driving, just having your lesson, the buzzers are off because it becomes really noisy, especially with the new learners, because the instructor will have to be using the brake and the accelerator quite a lot to help you along. But during the test, if the instructor presses any of those pedals, the buzzer will sound and the test will be cancelled. It will be immediate termination. So once this has been done, the license tester officer will sit in the car, and after they've done the buzzer checks and everything, they will ask you to turn, when you're ready, head towards the exit or make your way towards the exit. It doesn't matter what they say. It just means you have to start driving and move. Now, many students at this point, they forget that they haven't even started the car, because remember, we only turn the key enough to have the accessories on. We did not start the engine. So if you try to put the car in drive or reverse, whichever way you were standing, it won't work. Okay, so make sure the car is still in power. You don't touch any of the gear sticks, nothing. Just turn the key one more time and hear the engine running. So once you start, or if you got the push button start, press the brake when the power light button turns green. Press that once and the car will start. Okay, so really important. Make sure you understand that the car was in on position before to do the pre-drive check. Once that has been done, you need to start the car before you put the car in drive or reverse. Okay, and if you muck up a little bit there, get confused, it's okay. Just close your eyes, relax, and start again. So before I actually explain the drive test criteria briefly, there are 3 things that I want you to remember that you must always do when you're driving. And that's not just for the drive test. So number 1 is have both hands on the steering wheel. Okay, unless you're changing the gears, when you're driving, your both hands should be on the steering wheel at all times. Number 2, always keep in your lane. Whether the road is bending, turning, twisting, whatever, keep left. Remember to keep left. Unless, stay more or less in the center, unless obviously if your lane is blocked by some hazard, parked cars, or with the roadwork, sometimes the left lane is blocked. So whatever it is, just keep in the center of your lane. Number 3, observations. So observation includes observing what the instrument panel is telling you, looking at your dashboard frequently, checking the mirrors, the internal mirror, the side mirrors, and also looking far and wide. So looking at the road markings, road signs, other traffic, cars reversing from the parking lots or the driveways. Just having a general awareness of what's happening around you. So to be able to be a safe driver, you must at all times have a rough idea of what's happening all around you. So these things, make sure you always keep them in your habit, keep them in your practice. And once you practice enough, it will just become part of the habit and you won't even need to think about it. So safety requires that all these things must be done. Now I will explain to you the drive test criteria briefly. The first point is the mirror checks. Okay, they're really, really particular about the mirror checks, and that's all to do with the safety. So as a rule, as a way to remember, is that every new action requires internal mirror check or the side mirror checks. Okay, depending on which way are you going. So mirrors before anything and everything. Check the rear vision mirror before you brake, before you signal, and before and after you turn. Okay, really important. And I tell my clients, as soon as the tester opens their mouth, just check the rear vision mirror. Just quickly check. Because every action or every instruction that the tester gives you, it starts with every time they say something, it means you need to do something. And everything that you need to do, start with the internal mirror check. Okay, so sometimes occasional checks are good just to see what's happening at the back, but there are times when you must check. So every time the tester opens the mouth, just do the the internal mirror check, rear vision mirror check. And then depending on which side they're saying, check that mirror as well. But that's really, really important. So when you're going internal, when you're going straight, you're keeping an eye on the mirror as well. Okay. So for left turns, slip lanes and roundabouts, position the car to the left first and then stop if it is a stop sign. Otherwise, look at both ways and if safe, proceed. Now, many clients, what they do is, doesn't matter how many times we have told them, stop means a stop. Give way is a give way. Give way means approach, position the car to the left if you're turning left, and then check both sides. Or number one is obviously pedestrians, and you position the car to the left, check both sides and the pedestrians on the turning side, and if no one's there, you proceed without stopping. But where there's a stop, do not look right or left. If there's any pedestrians, stop before that, so give way to them. Then you stop at the line. So as a guide, as soon as the stop line disappears under the bonnet, you must stop. And you have to stop around 1 to 2 meters before the stop line. The wheel should not be on the line, okay? Now, once you made a full stop, then you turn your head to the right, left, and then right again before you turn. Obviously, as you're looking right and left, don't forget to look for the speed signs and the road markings. Don't just look at the traffic or the pedestrians. Must make sure you look at the signs and road markings. So once you stop, look to the right, left, right again, and say STOP. Check the rear vision mirror, and then you can turn. Really, really important. So many clients, what they do is coming to the stop sign, they know they have to stop. So, but what they do is before they position the car, they start looking left and right, and they see no traffic, and what they do, they run. They don't run, but they sort of move without stopping. So the difference between a stop sign and a give way sign is stop. Once you stop, it becomes a give way. So if you don't stop, that means you're not following the road rules. Road rule says stop. Whether there's cars or not, you stop. The third point is drive within the limit. Stay 3 to 5 less than the limit. So even at the speed hump, you know how the speed limit is 20, stay a few under. 5, at least 5. So it goes over this hump nicely. If you are going even on 20, the testing officer sitting at the back, they will feel every, jump. They won't be happy at the end of the test if you're, not taking care of them. There's a limit, there's a maximum limit allowed, and there's something called using the common sense. The car's going to be too jerky. And it's not good for your joints. Don't get them loose. So really important. Whatever the limit is, stay 5 under. Okay, and that's to be safe. Drop the speed to 40 kilometers an hour when you're passing stopped emergency vehicles with the lights flashing. So if there's police car, ambulance, or fire brigade on the left with the lights flashing, when you're crossing them, when you're passing them, your speed must come down to 40. And once you cross them, you can gradually accelerate. And remember, gradually accelerate. Don't zoom like a racing car. And that's with everything. When you're moving from a stop position, always pick up your speed gradually and steadily and keep going until you are more or less under 5, more or less around 5 less. Okay, but don't zoom, but don't dwindle like a turtle as well. Yeah, you need to pick up the speed. Because if you're driving 10 k's below the limit without any reason, they can give you critical error. And if you're driving way slow, all through the test, that can fail you. And remember, because driving too slow is not safe. It's dangerous because you're forcing other people, other drivers, to take evasive action. And most of the time, they are sort of like dangerous and actions, and people get upset, and road rage is not good. So make sure you take care of the people around you, especially the people behind you. So by not staying too slow, yeah. So stay within 5. 5 is a really good number. Now signal 2 to 3 houses before the turn. If you turn too early, just cancel it. So as soon as the tester says, at the next street, turn left, check the mirror, internal mirror, side mirror, and indicate. Okay? If it's too late, if you do it right at the end, you will get a no. Or if you don't put it on at all, that will be a critical error. If the signal cancels before the turn is complete, you must put it back on again. If you only, when you put it on, it just clicks 1 or 2 and then turns off straight away, you will be marked with a critical error. If it stays, critical error because you did not inform other people around you what you're doing. Remember, your signals are your communication with the other drivers. They need to understand, they need to know what you are going to do even before you do it. Even though most people will know where you're going, even if you don't indicate, because of where the position of the car is. But you must indicate. Be the good communicators. Yeah, really important. We can't yell out to each other. So our signals and are the ones that are communicating our intention to the other people. Okay, so not indicating too early and not indicating right at the end as well. Always drive on your side of the road unless of parked cars, and always turn from the left into the left and right into the left as well. Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you are. Always remember we are in Australia and we stay on the left side of the road. Okay, when going straight, still keep checking the rear vision mirror and side mirrors to make sure you are in center of your lane, as you need to be aware of who is around, and if there are any emergency vehicles, give way to them. So if you when there's no instruction and you're not slowing down, you're not indicating, and you're just going straight with a straight gaze, not looking around at the back or the sides, it's not safe. You need to be checking at the back at how close the traffic behind you is. Maybe there's emergency vehicles coming, and you won't hear the sirens. You will see the lights from far away. And that means you need to position the car whether in the left lane or stay in the right lane, because the left lane might be all empty, all clear for them to go through. So really be aware. And because emergency vehicles, when they're in emergency, if you don't give it to them, there's a fine as well. And also that embarrassment that they've been blaring, with so much noise and you still didn't give way. Okay, number 7 is head check. So head check is a must when leaving the curb, lane changing, and if you're going over a bicycle lane and you're turning left and there's a bicycle lane, you must do the head check there as well. Okay, so the procedure for the lane changing lane is internal mirror check, side mirror check, left or right, whichever way you're going. If safe and people are staying back and giving way, do the head check to make sure there's no one in your blind spot, and then look ahead and merge while matching and maintaining the speed limit. Okay, so the mirror checks are really, really important, and make sure you don't miss any of the mirrors. Some people, what they do, they just indicate, they don't check the mirrors, and what they do after, they do the head check and try to go. Now the head check is only showing you where the blind spot is, where the car could be, but the car that is just behind the edge of your car, that will be in your side mirror. So if you're not looking at the side mirror, internal mirror, the side mirror for the lane change, you'll be in really strife. That's a really dangerous thing to use. So very, very important. So number one, you check the inside mirror, the side mirror. Then after that, you're telling people, hey, I want to do a lane change. Please give me space or make space. After that, you're doing the head check to make sure there's no one in the blind spot. After the blind spot check, you're looking ahead to make sure if there's space behind the car you're going behind, the lane changing part. If the speed limit has changed or if the traffic is slowing down, because then you need to slow down as well. So really, really important. Match and maintain the speed where possible. So safe gap is when you can see both safe gap is when you can see both of their headlights in the rear vision mirror. So the car that you want to overtake, you should be able to see both of the headlights in your rear vision mirror, and provided that they don't increase their speed straight away, which means no, I'm not letting you in, and or you decrease your speed, because if you decrease, the gap is going to finish. So really important. Have a good practice of doing that with your supervisors at home and with the instructor. Turning left where there is a marked bicycle lane, and when leaving the car and before you open the driver's side and the passenger side door. So these are all the places where you need to do the head check. So really, really important. With the bicycle lane, always think the cyclist is there. So whether you are turning left where there's a bicycle lane, or you're pulling over to stop at the curb, or you're going into driveway, always do a head check. Number 8, look far and wide and on the road for signs and road markings. Keep clear signs, pedestrian walks, railway crossing, double lines. Every time you turn left or right, as soon as you're turning, scan the area, scan the road as far as you can see to get a better picture. Really, really important that observation skills have to be mastered, yeah? Now, number 9 is look at the area. Okay, if you missed a sign, look at the area. Many shopping areas and school are permanent 40 areas. If the school is on the main road, then you have the school times ahead, the big boards and with the flashing 40s. So make sure you look at the area, have a feel, have a sense of where you are, what could be the speed limit. And if you're in a residential area, even if you don't see a sign, think 50. Okay, unless you're in Maryback. Maryback has changed the speed limits to 40 in the inner streets, and the main streets in the suburbs are 50. So really, really important to keep an eye on the signs. And the signs are everywhere for those who look, okay? For those who ponder. So very, very important. Look and you shall see. Okay, number 10. Don't forget the pedestrians at slip lanes, on turns, and when facing stop and give way signs. And obviously crossing and children crossing, they're there. Okay, now remember, we don't offer pedestrian way at the roundabouts. But if they are in, then for safety, you give way to them. If someone's standing just on the side of the road and you're going straight, you don't need to give way. They should wait. Your obligation is more to the person who's behind you. Okay, the pedestrian who's waiting at the footpath, they should wait for safe gap from both sides, and then they should proceed. But obviously, again, if they're already on the road, on your pathway, then obviously you check the rear mirror and you slow down and let them cross safely. And at the end, remember, relax. There's no rush. Do things step by step. Remember again that the mirror. Okay, every action requires mirror, because many people lose their a lot of points on that. And also staying within the limit, 5 under. Okay, 5 under is really, really important. If you think 5 under is too slow, 3 or 2 less than the limit. But do not drive 10 k's below the limit unless there's a reason, like the traffic conditions are like that, the weather is like that. And remember, on one more thing, that if it's raining, bucketing down, just pull over and stop on the curb. If it's not safe to drive, just stop. Really important. Okay, now relax and enjoy. And the testers are not there to fail you, okay, but they need to see you drive safely, okay, according to the road rules and road signs. And safely means sometimes you will have to give way, let go of your right for the sake of safety. Because if other people are not following the rules, that means they are violating your rights, then it's okay, all right? Because we don't want an accident, we want to have a safe driving. So the testers are testing you with all the other crazy drivers around you. Okay, remember to leave a margin for others' mistake. Okay, passing the test is really important, but safety is paramount. Your safety, your instructor's safety, the tester's safety, and obviously, looking after the vehicle as well, the car as well. Okay, if you can avoid it by giving way, letting go of your right, that will be the best thing to do. Okay, and remember in the test, the tester will ask you to do things when safe. If it is not safe, you're not to do it. Okay, safety is really, really important. Now follow these steps, and inshallah, God willing, and I hope that you pass your test. All right, all the best.